Hello, my name is Eva, and this is our launch for the application Future Me. For our final project, we have decided to do a collaboration with two students from Open Lab in Stockholm, Despina and Olof. They have recently done a research project about youth in Husby and a suburb in Stockholm. Through observations, desktop research, and interviews with parents, educators, residents, experts, and then of course the youth themselves, they realized that about 40% don't complete high school and that there is a high youth unemployment rate. This led to that the project team developed an idea that had a main purpose to help inspire youths in Husby and probably other similar places to explore career opportunities, to widen their perspectives and help them on the way. Easier said than done. They got stuck with the development, and this is where Craft Academy comes in, and the group, me, Philip, Rodrigo, and Christopher, and our final project. It made it easy for us to pick up the idea that has all the data needed to become an actual application, an idea into a product, in other words. And of course, a great collaboration with other students and linking together two companies that are both innovative and challenging. We wanted to help Despina and Olof to build an app that inspire youths to explore professions and widen their perspective of possible careers. Thanks to Rodrigo, Despina and Olof were prepared when our two-day design sprint started. They had written down their ideas and wishes into user stories, and during the design sprint, we turned these ideas and wishes into, these user stories into features that get created in Pivotal Tracker. Here's also where we put the rest of the client's wishes and ideas into the icebox and later on prioritize it into the backlog. In the backlog, we as a developing team work on the features, and that's called an implementation sprint. This ends with a sprint review where the client either rejects or approves our features. And if they do approve it, we go on to the next one, but if they don't, we improve them. These sprints are followed by a retrospective where we as a group discuss and reflect our workflow and what has gone bad versus good. What could improve and what could change. And then we do this all over again until the product is ready. In our case, we did it twice in 2 weeks to be able to deliver the finished products.
Hi, my name is Philip, and I'm going to talk about the development or the implementation sprint, which Eva talked about. We started with a bunch of stories in our backlog, and we kept grooming these during the whole process. Like if we hit a problem, we added a new story and we implemented that. So we used a framework called Ionic, which is built on AngularJS. It's a framework to build hybrid native applications for mobile. Since it's built on web frameworks and HTML, it was very easy for us to work with this, since we have a lot of experience with those frameworks before and the languages. So we used the Tinder cards library for our swiping functionality, which you will see later in the demo. We also used ng storage for storing the different occupations, jobs on the local source on the device, basically, and also the saved jobs, which you will also see in the demo. We developed this app using a behavior-driven development method that we started with what the users see first, and then moved on to the navigation, and then moved on to the next screen, and so on, and following that process throughout the whole project. We have completed all stories and all features that we anticipated we would do during the last 2 weeks. And there are still features left in the icebox, which has to be groomed and taken care of in the future. So let's move over to the problems we had. We had a lot of problems with the Tinder card library. When we started, we had an old version which wasn't worked on a lot more today, and so we basically replaced that one with a newer one and made a lot of changes to it to make it do what we wanted to do, basically. Then we had some struggle with CSS, since we haven't really worked a lot with front end. It took some time to getting used to the first couple of days, but we made it work in the end. And then communication. We had a lot of issues that during the first couple of days the team didn't communicate as much as we should. We didn't go through every pull request as we also should have done, which led to a lot of misunderstandings and arguments which could have been avoided if we just followed with the process. We solved this during the sprint retrospective, where we talked it through and nailed down what was the process and started following it basically more correct and delivering features. After that, it has been going pretty well. Okay, let's move over to the demo.
So, my name is Christopher, and I'll show you the Future Me app. So when you start the app, this page shows up, and you can see the first job. If you hold at the card, you can swipe left or right to skip and go to the next job. Now I click the red button. This also skip the job like the swipe method. If you click on the purple button here, then you go to path screen, where you can see numbers of steps. You can go to get that job you want. Up here on the left corner, you can go back to the page you was earlier on. So if we go to the next button, the description screen, there's some information, duties, workplaces, and more. Yes. So can we click on the link button, then we go to the Google site, and here you can read more about the job you want. Now over the save button, the green one, click here and the job is saved in your library. When I click the library button, we get to the library screen where you can see your saved jobs. Then you can hold at one of the job, and then you can delete the job or click at once to go to the description page for the job. And that's it, so thank you for that.
Hi, my name is Rodrigo. In this, our final project, we've worked with a real client for the first time. And the process has been both very challenging and rewarding. Yes, we have had our struggles, we have had problems with the knowledge and the coding, with the communication. But staying in the struggle and overcome is what we learned the most from. This project aimed to create an early MVP, and we realized this in only 2 weeks. During these 2 weeks, we've had a design sprint of 2 days, 2 development sprints, and 2 delivery review meetings. For us, the most important takeaway has been to be able to work in a real-life project with a client with real-life needs. Working as new developers in a project without given parameters by our coaches and supervisors. Although we have had access to supervision, we mainly have worked independently. And what has helped us stay the course when we lost our way has been the knowledge and the experience and the habit based on the agile mindset and the processes that we have applied during the bootcamp. Without that, we wouldn't have come this far. Therefore, we would like to thank our real-life clients from the master's program at Open Lab Stockholm, Olof and Despina. We would also like to thank from Open Lab Stockholm, Gert van der Bogert and his team for making it possible for us to work in this very interesting project. And we're looking forward to seeing future collaborations and joint projects involving both Open Lab and Craft Academy. And of course, we would like to thank Thomas Oshman, our main coach, and his excellent team for this life-changing 12 weeks boot camp. It has been 12 weeks of learning, of hardship, of despair, evolving, feeling joy, and winning. It has truly been an intense, life-changing experience and an emotional roller coaster with a really strong impact in our lives. Because not only did Craft Academy teach us how to code, but all of you actually made us grow as people, and most importantly, put in our hands the power to control our future destiny. And for that, we will be forever grateful. So thank you.